Hello, Leo. Welcome into Don Williams Tarot. I hope this message finds you well. This message is for Sun, Moon, and Rising placements in the sign of Leo. So if you have those, this message may be for you. Keep in mind that this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading. So not all messages may resonate. Keep what does and leave what doesn't. If you're interested in doing a deep dive as to what's going on with you in your life, I do provide private readings. The information is in the description box below. Or you can go to donwilliamstarot.com to find all of my details and information. Today's reading is going to be for the month of July. I have shuffled the deck. I do want to, of course, as you can see, I just got back from vacation. I went to go visit my brother in California, Carlsbad. And while there, I decided to take his 80-pound dog for a walk, not realizing, because I haven't had a dog for 30 years, that with big dogs, you don't wrap the leash around your hand. Well, I didn't know that. And he decided to go chase after lizards. And I flew up in the air, slammed on concrete, broke my nose. I actually look much better now than I had. This happened last weekend. But the hardest part for me is, I've hurt my shoulder and I've also hurt my wrist and my hand on the left side. So I have a really hard time shuffling the cards. It takes me a little bit longer to shuffle. So I have shuffled all the decks. I have meditated on this reading. And so what I'm going to do for you, I'm going to do a Celtic cross for you. And because I wasn't able to do a career reading for the month of June, at the end, I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Indigo Goddess, as well as 3 cards from the Life and Career deck for you. Okay. And that's try to help bridge that little gap, because I know a lot of people are out of work. I know a lot of people are concerned about money, job, that kind of thing. So in addition to whatever comes up in the reading, this is going to be additional at the end. While I'm doing your Celtic cross, I am going to take myself off camera so we can just concentrate on your cards. You're going to see that most of the work I'm doing is just with my right hand. My left hand, I'm just trying to rest as much as possible so that it will heal and I can get back to doing the lives. Now, the other thing you may notice is you're seeing a bigger view of my room. This is my office. I created this specifically for my readings because I do, private readings in here as well. But the thing is I, in my last live, my laptop crashed. And that was about the 4th or 5th time it had crashed. It had never crashed online before, but it had been having problems. So while I was in California, I bought a new laptop, and this new laptop is more of a gaming type of a laptop because I needed that extra whatever to do the streaming, right? Because I really do want to do a lot more lives. And so if you're brand new to my channel, you might want to consider subscribing so that you can come into the lives and you can ask some questions that you might have. Now, the only thing that I do ask is when you come into the lives, if you've got a series of questions, please just book a reading. I'm not an expensive reader. Go to my website and you can see my pricing. But for the most part, what I'm doing is I'm giving you an opportunity. Like, let's say you have a job offer, you've got 2 job offers, and you come into the live and you say, I've got a job offer from ABC company, and I've got a job offer from, AMCO or whatever the company is that you are looking at. I can pull cards for both and see which would be the best option for you, right? So it's things like that. It gives you an opportunity to come in and ask a very quick question. And it helps. The beautiful thing about them is that it also helps me get live feedback right away. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started with your reading. Again, please give me a thumbs up. If you could do that, that would really be helpful to me. It helps me grow. I'm right now on YouTube at 996 subscribers. And their magic number for whatever reason is 1,000. Then YouTube helps you a little bit more in terms of getting your, your readings or your videos out. Once you hit this magic number. So I'm trying to grow, right? Now, about the lives, I will be starting them up again. I'm hoping to do that next week. It all depends on how quickly this wrist recuperates, because I do a lot of shuffling when I do the lives. Of course, I would be because I'm answering people's questions, right? Okay, so I'm going to take myself off screen, and that's about all I have to share with you at the moment. I will say that in every reading so far, the Six of Pentacles has shown up or the Death card. In some situation, we've also had the Tower, which is a big disruptive energy. So don't be surprised if you see cards like that showing up for you, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm just mixing it all up. I don't want anybody to say I stacked the deck or I did anything, that was not above board. So you just saw me split the deck. And I'm going to do that one more time. Ooh. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Leo, so good to see you. By the way, I happened to pull cards for myself today, and I got the Queen of Wands, who is that badass fiery queen that you all know. See, I told you, a death card. Okay, don't freak out, okay? It's come up. I feel like it's a huge collective thing that is that we are all going to be immersed in. I feel like it's a big collective situation that's coming in for all of us. It's going to affect all of us, really. Okay, so here we go. So we have the 2 3s here, 3 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. So there is some loss of some kind. And I feel as though just looking at this very center of your cards with that death and rebirth, just realize that the death and rebirth is an opportunity for you to put the old part of yourself behind you, and that you're progressing forward as the sovereign being that you are. And some of the things that are going to be coming out with this judgment card is about awakening. It's huge. This is a major arcana. The death card is a major arcana. And as that happens, it does affect us in a bunch of different ways. There may be some sadness associated with either a loss of some kind, whether it is a person, whether it's a situation for you, or it's a thing where you feel as though your heart is breaking because of all lies we've been told throughout our lives, right? And a lot of that is now surfacing. The things that we thought were sacred, we're finding are not as sacred as we once thought, right? So we start off your reading with this death card. The death card for me is that card of death and rebirth. And as you can see, the death portion of it is a symbolic death. It's the symbolic death of the old you. I feel as though so many people are making such huge headway in terms of their spiritual growth that seeing this card at this time is not surprising to me, because the old part of us is now dying away and we are rebirthing. We're finding out that we have a level of strength, a level of commitment, a level of desire to really forge ahead, to really make our mark as we forge through these next couple of years. Now, the other thing that keeps coming through in these readings is July is a really big month. Now, I know I say that almost every month. However, what I am reading and what I'm seeing out there in the alternative news and and other things that I have been witnessing and watching, some of the astrologers, the master astrologers that I watch, are all saying that it is going to be a big month, especially in the month for the United States. because one of my favorite astrologers did the US chart, and big things are going to be happening here in the US for this month. Now, that is a catalyst. And what that does is it ripple. It's like throwing a pebble in a pond, and it ripples out, right? It ripples out into all these different areas. And one of the areas that it ripples across the whole globe. So whatever happens, I'm not saying that we're the nucleus of the globe, but I do say that because of the things that are happening here does affect the other countries as well. The biggest thing is, the petrodollar. It feels as though other countries are trying to get away from the US dollar. They just had this deal with Saudi Arabia that just expired on the 9th, I believe it was, where it was a 70-year agreement about oil and using US dollar to buy and sell oil. Well, that agreement has now changed. You haven't heard a lot of things mentioned about it, but it's still hanging out there along with a bunch of other things. So big things are coming in. And what I do also want to share is when I'm looking at your reading here, you do have the very center of your cards with the death card. So this is a major arcana. The judgment is a major arcana, and the moon is a major arcana. So you have three big energies here that you're going to be working with through the month of July. That death and rebirth is absolutely a transformation type of energy. The death card is also about liberation as well. And it is also about removing any situations in your life that are no longer serving you, that you're completely walking away from those and you're not looking back, right? Because this is the new you. This is the new improved you. Now, what is also coming in, crossing, what's helping or hindering you is this Knight of Cups. So some of you may be experience a new love, or it could be a situation. Now, the Knights are all about taking action. So some of you might be looking at potential romance. This person that is associated with this card for me is that typical kind of guy that wants to wine and dine you. He wants to have the traditional relationship. He wants monogamy. He doesn't want, fooling around, none of that. He wants to be committed. He's quite chivalrous in his style. He is one that loves to exchange love notes. Like, you can look at the card. He set out this blanket with this basket of goodies because he wants to have a picnic with you. He brought you roses. He wears his heart on his sleeve. You can't really see it very well in this lighting, but he does have a heart here on his tattoo is a heart on his arm. So some of you are going to be coming into a love situation. Now, the other thing is, if you are pursuing someone, I feel as though if you were to take this stance, Leo, and decide that you want to be the romantic person, I do feel as though that will go a long way for you. Women love to be treated with that kind of affection. And if you're a male, and that you are listening to this reading, this is a nod to you if this is your style, but also recognize that the person that's coming in for you as a whatever your gender preference is the type of individual that will respect, will honor you, those types of things, that really love to have a commitment with you. Now, your thoughts coming in for July is the Judgment card. Now, if you look at this card closely, she is having an awakening moment, but it's also very spiritually aspected, meaning that she's being set free here because truth sets you free. The more you know, the more you grow, the more you are able to look at things objectively, look at things from neutrality. The thing is so many people get triggered by so many things because they haven't done that inner work, right? They haven't realized and recognized that what's going on in the world, while it does affect us on a day to day, at the same time, the more neutral you can be to those things, the better off you are. The awakening has to do with yourself. This is all self imposed. This is all you opening up your heart, you calling in your higher self, you working with that higher part of you. And this is a major step for you, Leo, because there's no hiding anymore. Everything's coming out into the light. So a lot of people are really just embracing this energy of this judgment of awakening, seeing things with a new set of eyes. Now, the hard part is for those of you who may have had very strong belief systems about a particular thing, and as more and more information is coming out, we're learning that a lot of that stuff was made up. A lot of it was made up so that we would have a certain belief system, and that's going to be traumatic for a lot of people. So it's a thing, Leo, where you may have to step into your leadership role and help guide the people around you the best that you can. Okay, your foundation here is the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands is about persevering, continuing to progress. The wands has to do with your inspiration, your creativity, your passion, your motivation, your intuition. So it feels as though you are really close to an ending of some kind, completion of something. So it could be related to a job, could be related to a project, it could be related to a move, a move across country or move into another country. It could really represent just about anything that this represents for you. But at the same time, this is also my wounded warrior kind of card, meaning that you're feeling tired, you're feeling the burden, you're feeling the heaviness of things. However, even though this is in your foundation, I also feel as though this judgment is saying this release is coming. Just be patient with yourself. This awakening is coming. Now, in your immediate past, we have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is the energy that, for me, I always call this my soul tribe. People that are in your life, because they support you, they love you, not necessarily your family members. This could be friends, it could be college people that you went to school with, workmates, whoever it is. But it's some kind of a celebration. Excuse me, a celebration of some kind. Threes are also about creativity. It's about thinking about outside the box. And of course, the cups have to do with your heart, your emotions, those types of things. And as we progress into your near future, like I was saying originally when I laid out the cards, this Three of Swords is going to feel pain. It's like it's a painful card. Something's going to come in. It's going to hurt your heart, right? It isn't anything that you will not be able to heal from. There is a loss associated with it. It could be just a loss of innocence, a loss of trusting yourself. One of the things when I really started opening up to all of my psychic stuff, and especially in these later years when all of these situations are coming out into the open, how I see, our government, how our governments treat the civilian population, those types of things where we always thought that they had our best interest at heart. We find out that that truly is not the case. It was always self-promoting, right? Well, for some of us, it really is hurtful. And so we are going to have to band together, and we're going to have to heal together. It isn't a thing where you're in isolation, because many people are going to be feeling these emotions. And it may be a thing that we just hold on to one another as we, progress through some of these difficult challenges that we're facing. Now, in your distant future, I see that you come out as the Queen of Swords. Queens all have to do with patience and understanding. And this queen right here She is my analytical queen. She is my truth and integrity queen. She expects that from those around her. She will not tolerate anything less. She likes to understand the whys of things. She wants to know how you came up with a solution, how you came to a conclusion. She likes to see the facts and figures. She can be a very warm, caring, and she's a very good person to have on your side, because if you cross this queen, she can be quite ruthless. She knows how to use that sword, right? So hopefully she isn't using her sword on your heart here, right? But whoever she represents for you, I feel as though she could be a mentor. She could be someone you are working with. This could be you as you're progressing through some of these more difficult situations. Like I said, you've reinvented yourself. You may very well feel as though you want to be carrying your sword with you wherever you go, so that you can define, the truth integrity of things, right? Um, but she's coming in for a reason. And it could be that she's your mentor. She could be somebody that you're working with. This could be your parent. It could be your mom, it could be anybody, right? But this is her energy. And as you're progressing, your closest relationship, which is this next card, which has to do with your external influences and your closest relationship, is the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands is a younger individual. This is a very carefree, I'm going to get it done. I am going to play while I do it. Like, this person doesn't take things too seriously, but they take them seriously enough. She is all about inspiration, creativity, passion, and motivation. And she's someone either that you will be mentoring or you'll be working with. This could be your child. This could be a niece or a nephew coming in for you. This is somebody that is close to your heart. And the other thing is, I feel as though this younger person, you're going to feel a little bit protected or protective over, right? You understand this wand's energy because of the fire behind it, right, Leo? So this page could also represent a messages coming to you, messages that inspire you, something that is you have been waiting for a while, that is an answer to something. So, it could be emails, could be communication of some kind, because pages do represent communication and represent messages, because they are a messenger. Okay. And then as we progress, your future feelings is this Four of Cups. Now, the hard thing about the Four of Cups is that as you can see her, she is kind of depressed. She's kind of bummed out. She has three empty cups here, but she's not recognizing this gift coming in towards her because she's completely looking away from spirit. Even her body language gives you the impression that she's bored. Now, typically on the Four of Cups, this represents looking for stability, and it may be emotional stability. It may be feelings about yourself, feelings about your situation, feelings about, how am I going to get myself out of this rut kind of a thing? What am I going to do now? Those are the kind of questions that she's asking herself. How do I get out of this? And what we do see is this hand here, which is representative of the hand of God, is bringing this other cup. Now, I look at this as the Three of Cups, but also as this fourth cup, which is in the Ace, right? The Ace of Cups, which is bringing you a new opportunity that is going to bring you a lot of love, bring you a lot of happiness, bring you some joy, and is going to help get you kind of out of this funky energy here. Your final card, Leo, is the Moon card. The Moon card is about mystery, the unknown, things that are hidden, the subconscious. Now, typically on the Rider-Waite deck, you see a lobster coming up out. Is it a lobster? Yeah, coming up out of the water, and it has to follow this path. And it recognizes that its comfort is in the water. but it knows that it has to get out of the water and follow the path because its success is way in the back where the mountains are. In this situation, as you can see, this is definitely somebody who is in a dream state. This is somebody who is communicating with her dream in that dream space. So this is the subconscious energy here. The moon is also associated with a level of fear. So it could be that some of your fears will be coming up because of the things that you learn in the month of July. But just know that your basic animal instincts will always keep you safe, right? Because we have the dog and we have the wolf or coyote here. These are pack animals and they typically will take care of their own, right? They take care of their pack. And the thing that I really like about wolves is wolves mate for life. They will not get another mate if their mate dies, right? And then the full moon here. So I feel as though this full moon is something that you need to pay attention to during the month of July. Something's either going to happen, you're going to have a revelation, you're going to have an awakening moment. Something's going to come in and is going to help solve this mysterious energy for you. So be aware of that date in July. Okay. So now what I'm going to do. Overall, it doesn't look painful, although I do see that there is a broken heart here. There's something's going to come in and is going to be a zinger for you. I don't feel as though it's going to be something that is going to linger. I feel like it's going to be like, wow, I didn't know that. Can you believe that? You know, and you're going to talk it through and you're going to come to some kind of a conclusion or resolution with this issue. But other than that, it looks as though you're going to be very busy this month. You're going to have a lot of revelations coming in. It does look as though you're going to be quite busy. So at this point, let's go ahead and I'm going to bring myself back on camera and we're going to pull your last couple of cards. We start off with independence. It says, go your own way. You have a unique path. You are a self-starter. Own your own business, freelance, or be your own boss. I really like this card, especially because it has kitties. Kitties are my favorite. And then we have an elephant here, which talks about domain, ruler of your empire. You need to be, it says greatness, position of power, a large home, respect, and wealth. So this for me is saying that many of you are going to be bringing in some more additional money, or you're going to be taking what money that you do have and putting it in places that will help increase your wealth in some way. Because you are the ruler of your own empire. It doesn't surprise me, Leo. And then we have attraction, manifesting, and magnetism, intention, focus, effort, target, release, and prosper. This is actually a great card too, because I do feel as though my Leos are the ones that really take that fire and utilize it for their best outcomes. I really do feel as though it's really talking about your passion, your motivation, and that you're not afraid to take action in order to make these things happen for you. So good job, Leo. Okay, opportunity. Doors are opening up for you. You have the chance to change jobs, start a business, or invest in a new venture. Just do it. Again, that has to do with just taking action. That's what you are best at. Leo, love the opportunity. Limitations. It says obstacles are not what they seem. You can get around them with some careful thought or simply choose something better for you. Okay, let's read that again. Obstacles are not what they seem. Okay, you can get around them with some careful thought or simply choosing something that is better for you. Yeah. That one you might have to give some thought to, because I'm not exactly sure what that's tying into, but maybe it's going to resonate with someone. Money matters. Money matters a lot now. Watch your expenses and save up for the future. You need to be prepared for the unexpected. Now, I can't tell you how many times I have heard in the last 5, 6 years about, you know, being ready, because they talk about the potential of the 10 days of darkness, our whole system, especially in the US, our whole system crashing, going down, military takeover. I mean, there's so many things, right? So do the best that you can. For me, I have moved some of my money around as I could. I invested in the metals, right? Gold and silver, those types of things. But not all of us are able to do that, right? I was not able to take out any of my money out of my 401k until I hit 65, because that's the legal retirement age. So I'm going to be looking at that when that happens and seeing what needs to be done. But at the same time, you're always thinking in the back of your head what I've been taught, right? I've been taught that you leave your money in place for as long as possible. So I don't know. There's a lot of things for us to consider, isn't there? Okay, Leo, that's what I've got for you for this month. I feel as though you're going to be very busy. I love hearing all your comments. So if you leave a message, I will definitely write back. Take care of you, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.